Da, 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 da. Welcome back to live number seven of this episode of Dan's Den. How are we doing today? How's everything going? How are you? What's happening? Make sure, again, you've got your water ready. Always make sure you've got your water ready. Always be on that. Make sure that's there. Oh, I've just had a message through. It's not anything, wildly important. It's fine. But make sure you got your water. I did make sure I got mine. Also, I kind of need the toilet, so that's going to be interesting for the next hour. I'm going to be holding it for another hour. Fun times. Good planning. Way to go. Excellent stuff. I picked this up because it was in the way on my desk. This is not a blue representation of the COVID-19 virus. It's actually a muscle roller. Oh God, that feels good. Oh, I haven't done it in my arms. Oh, I need this on my back. Oh my Lord, that's lovely. My shoulders, my upper half of my body is quite sore, not because I am ill, but because I have been exercising and working out. And yeah, it's still sore after like 2 days, still sore, which is quite something. So that actually felt really good. And this is the thing. Like you have to like press it down quite hard. And oh my Lord, yeah, it hurts, but it's a good hurt. It's like a good pain. It's a good pain. But I want to get on the floor and roll all over it later. How is everyone doing? I see people have joined. Welcome. Hello. Say hello. Let me know you're here. And of course, I'll do a show and tell. So I've actually had some people show me what they've been up to over the last couple of weeks, which is amazing. Thank you so much for that. Also, I've changed a little bit. So I listened to you guys and was aware that the games I played are actually still going to be a little bit harder for people who have certain abilities. So I wanted to change it up to make sure that it was more accessible to everyone. So what I'm going to do today, instead of, hey, Veronica, hello, instead of doing the quiz the way I do it and the Pictionary and stuff, which is fun, of course, I thought what I'll do is I'll actually do a Kahoot quiz, but a Kahoot quiz where you will not have to use your phone. So I'll read the questions out and I'll give it an A, B, C, D kind of situation. And then you just have to type, A or B or C or D into the box there. And that makes it a lot easier and more accessible for everyone then to be a part of it. And therefore you're able to kind of, keep yourself in the game. And that's what I wanted to do today because it just makes it a little bit fairer for everyone. So yes, that's what I want to do. Veronica, how are you today? How's the last 24 hours been? And is Vicky still sleeping? Is she still keeping up her goals and maintaining that? Who else is here? Who else has made it into the room? Make yourself known. Make yourself known. I'm so sure. Do you know what? When I go live, I'm so sure that the one person that is watching every time I join is me because it says the participants. I'm on the list of participants. So I do think it's me. Hi, Grace. Hello. Welcome to the day. We'll be showing and telling some of the things that have been submitted in the last kind of 24 hours, just so you know. I'm good, thank you. Thank you for asking, Veronica. I'm good. I am having the second of my kind of more productive days of the week. She's flying a kite today. I mean, that's cool. Fair enough. Yeah, sure. Fly a kite. Absolutely. I'm having, a more productive week this week. Hello, Susie. Hi. And so this morning has been a strange mix of me of the slow start, but I've managed to get things done. So I managed to publish another episode of my podcast, which is great. Haven't emailed anyone yet, but I will be on that, absolutely. And then I posted a video, which you'll see. I posted a new guided meditation video. And then I have actually started to look at the list of people I will be contacting over this period so that I can start reaching out to them and so on. Because I kind of, if I'm honest, I'm going to confess here, I have not reached out to anyone just yet, but I will be reaching out to people this week. But I actually thought I'm going to take myself a break because I needed one, and I'm going to give other people a break as well. And then this week I'm going to start reaching out, getting those conversations in, and so on. So that's going to be this week. So I'm feeling all right. I'm also going to go for a run today. I'm going to have some exercise as well. So I'm actually at least every other day. Susie, how are you? Grace, how are you? What's going on with you? What's new with you? I have officially changed the banner. So those of you who will have gone to my page will notice the banner art has changed. So there's 1 week now of this new banner art. Thank you to Twigsy for submitting that. If you, of course, like drawing yourself or fancy just doodling something that can be a part of the art, then naturally all you have to do is make sure that it says Dan's Den on there and just let me know, first name and the college you're from, and then I can post it and then it goes up and that can be where that goes. Grace is good. Excellent. Grace is good. And Susie is good. I'm sure Susie is great. And James is great. Is James there as well? Is James good? How's James? Where's my little book? Where's my book? Oh, there it is. There it is. So actually, first of all, what I'll do is I'm going to show you the show and tell stuff. Hang on. Okay. So first of all, Susie's sourdough bread looks delicious. Looks lovely, doesn't it? That looks really nice. So that was Susie's sourdough bread that she sent in. It made me hungry. So actually, after I've worked out, I'm definitely going to have something to eat. Because I'm being naughty. I lectured everyone on having breakfast and the importance of breakfast, and I haven't had breakfast this morning. Shame on me. Shame on me. That's not good enough. A bad dad. Very bad dad. So I haven't had breakfast yet, but I will do, certainly. I'm going to exercise because I love working out on an empty stomach. I don't know why. I don't know what that's about. I think it's more because if you work out on a full stomach, you feel heavier, you feel slower. You might get a stitch. You're more likely to get a stitch, like all sorts. So I like working out on an empty stomach. It feels better. So yeah, that's Susie's sourdough bread. Thanks for sending that in, Susie. And it looks delicious. Have you tried any yet? Have you had any yet? Is it good? Was it worth it? Have you finished it? Is it done? Do let me know. Do let me know. And then Grace was lovely enough to send in the origami that she started working on. So it wasn't, if we remember yesterday, it wasn't that she was saying I should start doing origami. It's that Grace started doing origami. So again, if I get closer there, you can see she started folding some paper up together. She obviously got a little kit there, which I think is a really, really great idea to spend time, because it's something that's both creative, it's skill-based, and of course, it's a great kind of mind calmer. And I imagine, Grace, when you're doing that, nothing else in the world matters. You're completely separate. You're just there folding paper. And then, of course, at the end, it turns out to look like something. So, yeah, like I think that's really cool. I think that's a really nice thing to do. And of course, it's colorful. And then you can have a little mantle where you display all of the stuff that you've created out of origami. I think that's a really lovely pastime. So I'm not going to lie, a little bit jealous. But, hey, there you go. That's that. But no, nicely done, people. How are we getting on with our weekly goals? All right, Grace has just come out and been very honest with it. She gets angry when she goes wrong and it rips. I mean, okay, fair enough. But maybe that's the practice, because of course it's part of the fact that stuff is going to go wrong. Remember yesterday? What was the quote yesterday? Have I got it here? The secret of getting ahead is getting started. And I know that we said that yesterday. I've got it labeled here. And yes, that's going to go wrong sometimes. But hey, what was the worst thing that happened in that moment? Why, of course, is anger the emotion that comes up? What is behind that gets you there? And I know that's probably a bit too deep for you, thinking I'm just folding paper, dude. But still, it's a good practice at all times. Certainly something low level as that, to practice that self-awareness. Because when it's something that means that little or doesn't mean that much, and you have that response, you can ask yourself, what was I going for? What's happening? And why am I getting frustrated with something that actually doesn't need to be that much? Or why am I investing so much into this? What is so important about this exercise to me? And of course, behind that answer, you get something that's far more profound and allows you to go, okay, well, the paper's going to rip. It's fine. I'm okay with that. Okay, then. So here we go. On to today's Carpe That DM. Back to this book. Let's see what we can get out today. So hopefully I don't get to the same damn page. So I'm going to just like that. Okay. Grace, this one's just for you. This one is just for you. Here we go. So here I read it backwards. The season of failure is the best time for sowing the seeds of success. There you go, Grace. It was written in fate. The seasons of failure is the best time for sowing the seeds of success. Now, I'll be honest, I have done a lot on failure and the fear of failure and success and et cetera. And actually, I'm gonna do this with you guys, because this was a really great exercise that I did with a few students on the East Coast, in the Midlands East Coast of England. And I pointed out that the fear of failure has actually rather negative connotations behind it, because of course it focuses on A, fear, and B, failure. And excuse me, I'm drinking the water far too quickly, so I'm going to have some more and get gassy. Great. I can feel that's going to come back. So I'm going to burp again. Excuse me in advance in case I forget. I never forget. So fear and failure are the focus. And some of you will know that I've said this, and some of you will already know this, that where our mind is focused is where our mind goes, whether we want it or we don't want it. If we don't want something and we focus on the thing we don't want, that thing is still more likely to take place. And this has been evidenced in so many of the conversations that I've had, both young and old people, just of all different types of backgrounds. When we say that I just don't want this to happen, I don't want to be a bad person, or I don't want to mess this up, and I don't want to get this wrong, I don't want that. That's still, funny enough, that's already happening. It's already taking place because we're so focused on the thing we don't want that we realize subconsciously that's exactly what we're doing. So the fear of failure is a term that then goes, well, why are we putting the focus on fear and failure? Because those are the two things that we actually don't want. We're looking at it like, this is what I don't want to have happen. This thing right here, this thing that's taking all my energy and attention. So I wanted to flip the script on it. And instead of saying the fear of failure, I wanted to change the term to something that's based more around success. So, for example, the advantages of success, the greatness of success, the pull of success, something like that. So, actually, what I want us all to do now is think of a term. We've got fear of failure. I'm going to type it in here. In fact, no, I'm not going to type it in. I'm going to put of success, right? And even of winning, right? And what words could you think of that could come into that actually makes it a far more positive, more productive, more encouraging term? Because instead of saying fear of failure, we can turn it to something of success. And I could say the showers of success. We could say the wonder of winning, right? In fact, wonder of winning. Oh my, oh me, oh my. That's quite a good one. The wonder of winning. Because what it does then is it takes our focus away from getting it wrong, away from getting it bad and feeling bad about the fact that we got something wrong, or that the paper ripped, which is now another analogy, Grace, that I'm going to take with me now onwards in every DansDen life. The paper ripped, and flip it on its head, right? To seeing instead the concern of the paper ripping, but actually the fact of the opportunity, right? The openness of opportunity. So in fact, there's of opportunity, there's of growth. What words can we come up with? What phrases can you think of that are actually far more positive and forward thinking? Please do let me know. Put some comments down. Because actually I've not heard from anyone for 6 minutes now, and I'm wondering if you're just sat there listening, enjoying what I'm saying, or if you've gone to make a cup of tea or you've gone to get your water. Let me know. James, if you're there, of course, love to hear from you as well. All of these things can actually be far more positive. Meanwhile, I'm going to go back to this quote and break it down. So the season of failure. Now, I'm gonna actually break this down right into the actual words used. The season of failure. Now, season goes on for quite some time, and when I hear that, what I hear is an extended period of time where we don't feel like we're enough. An extended period of time where we feel like nothing is going right. In fact, an extended period of time where we're often saying to ourselves, why are you like this? Why does everything happen to me? And what's going on with my life? Why am I not worth it? Why can't I do anything with this? All that kind of self-criticizing, self-defeatist mentality that puts us in a place where we just aren't empowered and we aren't able to get stuff done. Why am I so stupid? And so on and so on. And if these things, it's talking not about the instances of failure. So not necessarily just about the moments where the paper rips, but actually where perhaps the paper is constantly ripping for days, weeks, months, and we're just not there. And when it says the season of failure is the best time for sowing the seeds, what they're saying is in this time is an opportunity to actually ask those questions more sincerely, with a bit more compassion, and actually put some ownership on the self. So not saying it's our fault that we're in the situation we're in, but the responsibility that we are in control of what we do with it. And I can make this about me for a moment so that you can see that it's clear. When I was, again, not happy in my life and not doing great with myself, it was a mental flip of going, well, what am I actually doing? What are the actions? Never mind, the things that I'm getting wrong and what's behind, that thing that I'm getting wrong, and in the fact that maybe I'm silly or stupid, because they weren't facts, they were just thoughts. But what am I doing? And in that, I was able to address and look at the actual actions I was taking that weren't helping me. And then, of course, learning and developing tools that I could take and choose to do that weren't going to take me down the same path that I knew. So again, we're so good at choosing the familiar. There's a quote that I had. Hey, Jack, what's up? Here we go. Oh, okay, wonderful. So, Jack, I'm going to come back to that. Thank you very much, Jack, for saying. Thank you for that comment. I appreciate it. That's good. So we'll talk about that in a sec. It's about getting the tools, of course, making positive decisions. We love the familiar. We love going back to the things that we know, even though we know it's not good for us. So a quote that I saw recently on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure I said it already here, was we can't go back to the way things were. We can't go back to normal after this COVID pandemic, because that's what got us here in the first place, doing everything the way we did it. Never mind how it started, right? Because actually there are probably many diseases and outbreaks that don't happen or don't spread because we're doing things that don't allow it to spread, right? There's so many things that we actually do. So for example, if you think about every time someone does wash their hands, hey, Jack, someone does have a shower, every time someone does brush their teeth, every time someone decides to wear gloves, you know, and you think about in hospitals when people wear protective gloves for certain things, that is a prevention of diseases from outbreaking that we as regular people don't even know about. Because actually my partner, I know this is going to sound like a WhatsApp forwarded message, but this is actually true. Okay, so please, my partner's best friend is studying as a nurse, and my mum's a lecturer of nursing, and they are aware of a disease, an STI, that actually I've never heard of before, right? And it's actually partnered up with other diseases like gonorrhea and stuff like that. But I'd never heard of this disease until like a couple of days ago. But they knew all about it. But the chances are because they know about it, they know how to prevent it. So we don't hear about diseases that don't break out. But the thing is, because we were doing everything the way we were doing it, this one was able to break out. So we've got to then change the way we do it so that no longer happens. Does that make sense? And that's, of course, what we need to do with ourselves. In order to develop a more positive mindset, we need to look at the things that we're doing or not doing and start not doing or doing different things to prevent those habits and those behaviors, and maybe that treatment we give ourselves and we let other people give us to change, right? And that's the process. But it's only by looking at where we're getting things wrong that we realize where we need to change. And we've got to really realize that, not go, we're getting it wrong and go, oh, well, you know, because I'm a mess up and I'm a horrible person and that's it. Well, do we want to change it? Do we want to make things better? And if we do, then we've got to make different decisions. And of course, we can choose how to make different decisions by looking up different ways that people have done stuff, different ways that we feel we should do stuff, and trying things out, looking for the best way. I mean, of course, this is my whole job. So hello, that's what I'm here for. So Jack Rolls made a comment here, and I'm going to read this out. But it's not that. It's a way to say that we are scared to mess up. That way it's easier to express your emotions. Yes, no, that's true, Jack. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I'm not saying we should not use it. I'm just saying that the fear of failure gets so much more attention than the focus on success. It gets so much more attention in terms of its conversation. And I think it's not to say that it shouldn't be around. It's to say that actually, if we don't get an opportunity to spin it on its head, much like everything I've said here, we can say, okay, it's fear of failure. All right, we've acknowledged that. Cool. Okay, so you're afraid of getting it wrong. Fine. But what about what happens if you get it right? What about the motivation? What about the anchor upon which you want to do this and learn and do better and stop making mistakes? What about that? Because if our life is based off and anchored off seeing negatives and wanting to avoid negative things, then actually all we're doing is spending our time focusing down on negative things, whether we like it or not, even if we're trying to avoid it. We're only thinking about the bad things. And that does not become conducive to a positive mindset, to a healthy, positive outlook on life. All it does is it feeds this element that everything is bad and I'm trying to avoid it. And I know people think like that. But the problem is, then what they won't be realizing is because all they're focusing on and all they're learning about is bad stuff, then believe it or not, what they end up putting out into the world is just bad stuff. And I actually had a conversation recently with someone who very much came to that conclusion. Deep down, they wanted the world to be good. They were very liberal. They wanted life for everyone. They wanted happiness for everyone. But because they spent so much time paying attention to things that were wrong, things that were bad, things that were destructive, things that people were doing that were horrible, their conclusion was quite literally to simply become the horrible thing, because that's all they knew. That is all they understood. So they ended up feeding that same pool of bad stuff instead of changing things for the better. And I think maybe some of you will be familiar with people like this, who only see bad things and only recognize bad things, and funnily enough, only end up or are already being bad things themselves, because that's all they know. Not because they actively want to do it and that's deep down what they want, but because that's all they know. So it really is up to us to be able to make different decisions, look up different ways of doing things, and explore a more positive way of looking at things, so that our fear of failure doesn't consume us completely into a state of giving up effectively and becoming that which we hate. Right? That is it. So you're absolutely right. We want to be able to identify the problem, but that identifying a problem is it's done so that we can resolve it. We become aware of it so that we can get it right or change it, not so that we can just accept that it's there. Because otherwise, what is the purpose in any of this ultimately? What is the purpose? I'll leave that there. I will leave that there. Thank you, Jack. I love the contribution. I really appreciate you leaving that comment, though, because that's what this really wants to be about. I really want to hear your thoughts, your perspectives, your answers on things as well, because it's absolutely valid, Jack, what you're saying. We absolutely need to be aware of them, and we certainly do need to not delete these things. We can't be, obnoxiously positive and act like nothing is bad. But if we acknowledge that the thing is bad, then of course we make that decision at that point whether or not we want to change it. And if we don't want to change it, then actually, why are we acknowledging it? What's the purpose of acknowledging it? Again, and again, this is my own personal philosophy, but as you know, this is how I maintain myself a very positive, energized outlook on life, because I'm not ignoring bad things, but I do certainly acknowledge bad things, ask myself whether or not I can change it, and if I can't, I leave it alone. I mean, I can't. Again, I always go to this example of the sun is ever expanding, eventually it'll explode. There's nothing I can do about that, so why on earth do I spend my time worrying about that? I can't spend my time worrying about that. And also it'd be a waste of my breath. I want to enjoy my life here. I really want to enjoy it. So I don't give it any attention. If I can change it, I will do what I can to change it. If I can't, it's none of my business. It's nothing I can do about that. So I leave it there. And I continue to be positive with it. I continue to do what I do. Okay. Now what next? I'm trying to think what I usually do here. I've completely forgotten. Oh, yes, I know. I usually ask you what you would like me to do videos on. So at the moment, my list is done. I had saving money, do a video on maths, sleeping patterns, and I've done those. They're all posted. So any other videos that you would like to see topics on, anything at all, I actually have in the back of my head, and Grace, you'll laugh because I know that you were in the room when this was requested, how to one spark bear man in the pub. I'm still got that in the works, and I know I'm aware I'm going to have to do that at some point. I know that's a video I will absolutely need to do, but but any other videos you'd like me to produce for the channel, any other things you'd like me to speak on in more detail, just ask. Leave comments in here, of course. Send them over to DansDen YouTube. Send them over here. If there's any rants you want to have, if there's anything else you want to say here, let Charlie know, please, by all means. Jack, I have said that I wanted to discuss certain things, but there is a limit to what I can discuss on this channel. And I know that it's important for us to talk about these things. If you want to be specific, you can send me an email, all right, and put it in there. But what I will say is I'm not a mental health expert, and I don't want to speak on things that I'm not as well known about. So I always want to put an underlying message behind this, that this is not my expertise. It's only personal opinion, speculation, and I try to be as reasonable as possible with it. But that doesn't mean that what I have to say is final or definite, or of course, with my background of information, a solid ground upon which to stand. So that's why I have the links below, of course. If there are things you want to discuss and what are things that maybe are really personal for you, then that's absolutely fine that you want to do that. Make sure that you're going through the right channels for the right conversation. And that's not to say that you can't talk about that here. It's more to say that I'm not the person who would be able to go through that in the right way, right? And it is yes, it's a safe way to play it, because the last thing I want is, first of all, I don't want to give out misinformation for people and have them hurt themselves with it. And second of all, I really want to make sure that people are put in front of the people that are there specifically for the service. And I'll even put it this way. I don't want someone to drive up to my house and expect me to change their tire, because I'm not the expert on that. And I would, if I try to do it, they could end up having a bad accident because I thought I could, you know, change a tire when I can't, right? So that's it. I don't want people to come for me for something that I'm not an expert in. I can share information, I can share thoughts, but it's not something that I go, this is something that I believe and is absolutely true because I read it somewhere, because the chances are I didn't. All right. So that's that. But that's not to say that we can't talk about it. There's only just a certain realm. There's a certain sphere of competence that I have with that. So of course, as I've discussed here, there are certain spaces that I can discuss and some that I can't. All right, buddy. But again, for anyone who needs support, I have links in the description boxes of all my videos for this very reason, because I wanted to make sure that if anyone during any of my videos perhaps was set off by something I said, or they're going through a particularly difficult time, then of course they have an opportunity to reach out and share with someone who knows how to have that conversation professionally. They know they're in good hands. All right. That's why. That is why. Okay. So without further ado, again, if you have any questions, again, just please do feel free to ask. But without further ado, let's get on to Kahoot. Now, I did say I was going to play Kahoot, but don't worry, we're not going to actually do Kahoot with the phones and stuff. It's not going to be like that. I'm not going to be playing the tunes out loud and stuff. What's going to happen is I'm going to be asking questions. And Jack, I don't know if you've actually been part of any of these quizzes before, by the way, but just so you know, we've got a scoreboard. People get scored accordingly. And I've got right now, if I get the scoreboard up, hang on, where is it? DansDen live winners. Right, let's see who's in the lead. So right now, Twigsy has a point. Twigsy's not here. I'm wondering where Twigsy is. Wendy has 1 point and Veronica has 1 point. It was an interesting round. There was a lot of draws, which was great. But we're going to delete all of that. And first of all, let's put in the names of the people who are going to play this game. So let me know if you're up for playing. I know Susie is. I'm going to put Susie's name down immediately. I don't know if James is there. Susie, could you let me know if James is there? Grace, I know you're here. Veronica, I haven't heard from you a moment. Are you here? Jack, are you looking to play? Because I'll put your name down. Jack is down. I love it. I'm down. Veronica's here. Good stuff. And who else? Who else is here? Susie, are you here? Are you wanting to play? Is Jack there? Let us know. We'll pause for a moment and see if Susie and Jack are here, and then we'll get going. So again, the rules are simple for this one. I will ask a question. Thank you, Grace. I will give you the A, B, C, D, and all you will have to do is put in A, B, C, or D. Sometimes, and I will say, there will be multiple. There we go. Susie and James are in the room. Fantastic. Okay, good. Anyone else? Am I missing anyone else? I don't think I am. No. I think everyone's here. Okay, good. Sometimes there will be multiples, and I will say there's more than one correct answer, right? So I'll let you know. But what you'll do is you'll get a point. But this time, okay, this is why I'm going to play it. You'll get 1 point for every answer you get correct. You will lose 1 point for every answer you get wrong. So we're going to think about this carefully. All right, we're going to think about this very carefully. Now, is this the right one that I'm doing here? I'm doing one. Oh, hello. What's going on? Oh, what's going on here? What's going on? Right. Hang on. If I do that. Oh. Okay, right. Assign a challenge. Oh, what's happening here? Oh God. Oh, hang on. I've just remembered. I love this. I've just remembered that actually for me to actually play it. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter. I don't actually need to play the game. Silly me. Right. Here we go. Here we go. So question 1 when you're ready. And I'll always go A, B, C, D. Now, the first question is multiple answers you can get here. All right. So question 1. The coronavirus continued to spread across the globe last week. What can you do to prevent its spread? A, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds each time. B, keep a safe social distance from others. C, avoid touching your face. And D, avoid shaking people's hands. So that is the first question. What have you got? So A, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds each time. B, keep a safe social distance from others. C, avoid touching your face. And D, avoid shaking people's hands. Give me the right answers. Okay. All right. Susie, you're going to have to answer in response to James as well. So you actually, yeah, Susie, if you don't mind, if you put a J in front of every answer that James has answered, so then I'll know that he's answered, because otherwise you're speaking for both of them and I won't know, and I'm dissing both of them out. Okay, so Susie said all of them. Okay, Jack, can you finalize your answer? What I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to accept first answers only, so you can't go back on them. All right. So Susie said all of them. Veronica said B. Grace, you said all 4 of them. Jack, you said 3 of them. And James, I'm guessing, said all of them as well. So the correct answer was A, B, C, D. All of them. All 4. All 4 are correct. Jack, I'm so sorry, man. You backed out. And because you didn't get one wrong, you took an answer. You didn't answer a question. You took one out. You don't lose a point for that. All right. You only lose a point if you answer it correctly. You took that out. So that's okay. So the answer was A, B, C, D. All 4 of them. Jack, I'm so sorry, man. That's a shame. That is a shame. But so far, the points are as follows. Susie 4, Grace 4, James 4, Jack 3, Veronica 1. So on to the next question. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Here we go. The next one. This event marks the astronomical first day of spring in the Northern Hemisphere, and it happened last week. Here we go. A is spring equinox. B is spring break. C is April equinox. And D is March equinox. Now, there are 2 points available for this one. 2 points available. So there's 2 questions or 2 answers that are correct. So again, this event marks the astronomical first day of spring in the Northern Hemisphere. And it happened this week. A is spring equinox. B is spring break. C is April equinox. And D is March equinox. Which one is it? All right, here we go. So Jack Roll said B. James said A. Okay, hang on. Oh, I'm going to have to do the maths here. So, Jack Roll said B. James said A. Good. Grace said D. Good. And Susie said A. And Veronica said B. Okay. Now, remember, I'm going to give you all a second round because I said there are 2 points here. There's 2 answers correct for this. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to get another one. All right. So if you give your answers one more time, but, obviously pick a different one because if you pick the same answer, you're missing out on a point. So there are 2 correct answers here. I'll read it out one more time. This event marks the astronomical first day of spring in the Northern Hemisphere, and it happened last week. Okay. A, spring equinox. B, spring break. C, April equinox. And D, March equinox. Which ones are correct? Okay, so we've got. I've got to make sure I remember where we're at. Veronica said B. Has Veronica answered one yet? Oh, no, yeah. So Veronica was B. Susie said C. And Grace said B. And Veronica said A. And Wendy's jumped into the room. Here we go. Fantastic. Welcome, Wendy. So Wendy, just to give you a hint, thank you for coming. Welcome to the room. For every correct answer, you get 1 point. For every wrong answer you give. So if you just don't give an answer, it's 0. But if you give a wrong answer, you lose a point as well, just so you know. Veronica says A. Jack, what's your second answer, buddy? What do you think your second answer is? So, and James, what's your second answer? Jack and James. JJ Gabor, what's your second answer? Jack says D. Okay, good. And what does James think the second answer is? What do you reckon? Drink when I drink, people. So James's second answer is C. Okay. Right then. Good. Thank you, everyone. So the correct answers were A and D. A and D. It was A and D. So if you got A or D, that means you're correct. If you got B or C, you lost a point. So now the new marks, the new scores are Susie 4, Grace 4, Jack 3, Veronica 1, James 4, and Wendy 1. Wendy, you joined, late, but that's fine. Okay, I'm actually going to, so that it's clear for me, I'm going to put round 3 in there so that I know where the questions start, because that's going to get confusing. Right, here we go. Nice and easy. True or false? True or false? A is true, B is false. Okay. This year's spring equinox happened earlier than usual. True or false? This year's spring equinox happened earlier than usual. Is that true or false, do you think? A is true, B is false. What do we think? What do we reckon? Just going to update someone very quickly. Excuse me. I love it. I said A or B, and you're going to put it in true and true. Why? You're such renegades. You rebels, you. Not answering the question, Robbie. I'll accept. It's fine. I'll accept. I did think, why don't I just let them, put true or false? It's fine. That's okay, Wendy. That's all right. No problem. I'm glad you found us. So Jack says true. Okay. Jack says true. James says true. Veronica says true. Grace says true. Susie says true. And Wendy, what do you think? What do you think? Is it true or false that the spring equinox started earlier than usual this year? What do you reckon? Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da, false. Oh, I see. Okay, do you know the question? Sorry, Wendy. Okay, so Wendy got false. Right. Okay, now the correct answer is indeed true. It's true. It didn't start earlier this year. So unfortunately, Wendy's back down to 0. Everyone gets a point. So Susie, Grace, and James got 5. Jack, you got 4. Jack, mate, I'll give you an opportunity. Twigsy's in the room. Amazing. Twigsy, you're automatically playing. And congratulations, your art is now on the banner. Well done. So Veronica's got 2. So Jack and Veronica, you've got opportunities here. There are chances, okay? This could go any which way. I'm thinking we'll do 2 of these. So we'll give another go. Maybe we'll change the rules on the scoring a bit. Okay. So, there's a little bit of trivia here. Sorry, Twigsy, just so you know the rules, we're playing a quiz. For every answer you get right, you get a point. For every answer you get wrong, you would take away a point. And if you don't answer anything at all, if you say you're not answering, like put NA or something, then nothing happens. Okay, you're kind of staying still. You're playing it safe. Right. For much of the last century, the spring equinox has occurred on March 20th or 21st. This year, the equinox, I want to say equinox, I think it's equinox. The equinox happened on the 19th in all US time zones, making it the earliest spring we've seen in 124 years. Wow. How do they know that happens? Wait a minute. The astronomer first says spring. How do they know that's... I never know when they know that it's and a day before. Like, what's happened? Is it just that the bees come out and go, spring equinox is here, March equinox. They do like a Disney song. Equinox, equinox. Oh, equinox, equinox, March and spring with equinox. Let's get on the flowers and pollinate those sons of... It's not. Okay. Next question. Right, next round. What is the equinox? Do you know what? Actually, I can't. Thank you, Jack. I love Jack. Welcome to the room, man. You and your... I love it. Contributions here. Wonderful. Right, what happens during the equinox? Oh, my Lord. Here we go. Ready? The celestial equator wraps the sky directly above Earth's equator. What is the celestial equator? At the equinox, the sun crosses the celestial equator to enter the sky's northern hemisphere. At the equinox, Earth's two hemispheres are receiving the sun's rays equally. Spring and day are often said to be an equal length. Right. What is the celestial? Hang on a minute. I need to go further into this now. What's the celestial equator? The projection into space of the Earth's equator, an imaginary circle equidistant from the celestial pulse. I want to keep going because I want to know. I don't know if anyone can explain that, because I'm trying to think the projection of space, projection into space of Earth's equator. The equator obviously is the very center that rings around the Earth. It's an imaginary circle equidistant from the celestial poles, which I imagine are those things. But that can't be right. How do you find it? It always intersects the horizon exactly at east and north. No. To find the celestial equator, first find the first pole. Look 90 degrees one way, then the other. The east to west, and turn 100. Oh, mate, you know what? No, we're not doing this today. I'm in the middle of a quiz. I can't get into that. This is ridiculous. Is this the groundhog? I don't think so. I don't think that's quite it. But all I'm guessing is spring equinox marks basically this is what I'm gathering, okay? Marks a time where the sun is in a particular position on the Earth, and I'm guessing that basically spring is when the sun. Yeah, that's it. I think actually it said it. I've just realized. At the equinox, Earth's two hemispheres are receiving the sun's rays equally. So basically, spring equinox is a time where the sun, a day and night are the same length of time, at least for us anyway, in the United Kingdom. I know that much. And I'm guessing that'll be different, depending on where you are on Earth. So that means summer equinox. So equinox must be just the certain time in which the sun is showing itself to Earth, or Earth is, showing itself to the sun, depending on night and day. That's what I'm guessing. That's the simplified version of this. Right. Okay, let's get back to the quiz, because that took me on a journey that I wasn't ready for. Whew, good question, Jack. Thank you for asking, because I learned something today and I didn't know the answer, so that's good. Okay, so back to it. We're on to round 4 now. Wait, what? This is question 5. Oh, that's right. I'm going to say round 4. Okay, round 4. The first ever skydive into the jet stream happened last week. Where? The first ever skydive into the jet stream. I'm guessing that the skydive into the jet stream meant that it went through. No, because that would be a jet stream. The jet stream. All right, then. What's the jet stream? I'll give you the questions first, and then answer that, and I'll quickly have a look at what jet stream is. So the first ever skydive into the jet stream happened last week. Where? A, USA, B, Australia, C, China, and D, Austria. My ADHD is just like flying off right now. It's going mad. It's just like, what is that? Hey, let's look at this. What is that? So the first ever skydive into the jet stream happened last week. Where? A, USA, B, Australia, C, China, or D, Austria. Now, there's only one correct answer for this. Remember, if you get it wrong, then you lose a point. Right, what is the jet stream? Fast-flowing, narrow, meandering air currents in the atmospheres of some planets, including Earth. The main jet streams are located near the altitude of the tropopause and are westerly winds flowing west to east. Their paths typically have a meandering shape. Oh, so the jet stream is like, okay, so if you've seen Finding Nemo and they get into the, what's it called? The Great Something Current? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, when they ride the turtles down that current, it's basically that, but in the air. There you go. Learn something new every day. Fantastic. So what have we got? Good explanation, Dan. Thank you, Wendy. Appreciate it. So we've got D. So Grace said D. Hang on a minute. Grace says D. Cece says USA, which I need the letter because that's not helpful. Always breaking the rules. Always. Veronica says B. Okay. James says Australia, which again... Okay, I need the letters because I need to keep checking which one's which. Okay. Wendy. Jack. Drinking. Okay, that is everyone, I believe. So Susie's answered. Grace has answered. Veronica's answered. James has answered. Wendy's answered. Jack's answered. Twig's answered. Okay, good. Right, everyone's here. I need the letters, by the way. I know that you are giving me the answers. That's great. The letters would be wonderful because it makes it a lot easier in my head to do this. Because I have to keep changing the tab and be like, which one was USA? But okay, so the correct answer to this question was in fact B, Australia. It was B. It was actually B, Australia. So that means that the only person who actually got this right was Veronica. No, it wasn't. It was James. James and Veronica. Sorry. James and Veronica got this correct. So the scores have shifted now. They've shifted. Susie's got 4 points. Grace has 4 points. Jack has 3. Veronica has 3. James has 6. Wendy and Twigsy are at 0. We're not going below 0. That's just not necessary. They're at 0. Okay. So next one. Next question. Here we go. I'm going to actually go a bit faster now because I've realized we're taking far too many pauses. Unless you want let me know if you want the trivia. If you have a question, if you want to know, oh my God. If you want to know the answers to the questions or if you have any questions, ask away. But I won't jump into anything unless you're requesting me to do so, because otherwise we're going to be here forever. Right, question 6 of 13. Okay, about halfway. Now, I love this because technically, if I hadn't gone on to look at what jet streams were, this next question... Right, here we go. Question 6. What is the jet stream? Is it A, wind caused by airplanes? That's actually what I thought straight away. B, strong winds near the Earth's surface. C, strong winds in the atmosphere. Or D, a current of high-speed winds near the tropopause. So what is the jet stream? Is it A, wind caused by airplanes? B, strong winds near the Earth's surface? C, strong winds in the atmosphere? And D, a current of high-speed winds near the tropopause. You can get 2 points. There's 2 correct answers here, people. 2 correct answers. So you've got 2 points up for grabs here. Jay says D. Okay, good. D, 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 D. Everyone is giving D. I love it. Everyone's giving the D. I didn't say it. So, okay, good. Now, there's 2 possible correct points here. 2. All right. So, good. Grace has given 2 answers. Fantastic. Jack's given an answer. Good. Veronica's given an answer. Good. James has given an answer. Good. Wendy and Twigsy. So that's round 1. You get 1 more correct answer here. There's another opportunity for more points. So you've all given your first answer. What's the second answer? Grace has given both correct answers. Oh. Okay. Okay, so the question was, what is the jet stream? A, wind caused by airplanes. B, strong winds near the Earth's surface. C, strong winds in the atmosphere. D, a current of high-speed winds near the tropopause. All right, so everyone gets points. Well done, everyone. Wow, guys, you all got that right. How did you do that? That's amazing. So well done. So proud of you. So the correct answer for that was indeed, yes, C, strong winds in the atmosphere, and D, a current of high-speed winds near the tropopause. Oh, Lord. Okay, right, next question. Round 6, here we go. Okay. Oh, the points, right. Susie has 6. Grace now has 7 points. Jack has 5. Veronica has 5. James has 8. James, you're being caught. You're being caught up here. Watch out. Wendy has 2 and Twigsy has 2. Here we go. So the next question. There's 2 points available. Again, 2 correct answers. In Italy, people gathered on their balconies last week. Why? Was it A, to enjoy the first days of spring? B, to applaud health workers treating people with COVID-19? C, to sing, dance, and play music together while keeping social distance? or D, to have dinner with friends? Why were people gathered on their balconies in Italy last week? A, to enjoy the first days of spring. B, to applaud health workers treating people with COVID-19. C, to sing, dance, and play music together while keeping social distance. Or D, to have dinner with friends. What were your answers? So, Grace has C. Okay, good. Veronica, B and C. Good. Briggsy has C. Good. James has C and D. Okay. Susie has B and C. Okay. Grace put in B as well. Okay, good. Jack has B and C. Briggsy has B and C. And Wendy has C. Wendy, you get 2 questions, by the way. You get 2 questions correct. All right. So you've got one answer there. Let's go 2 answers correct. Sorry. So you got 1 answer there. Thank you. What's the other one do you think it is? I'll read them out one more time. So why did people gather on their balconies in Italy last week? A, to enjoy the first days of spring. B, to applaud health workers treating people with COVID-19. C, to sing, dance, and play music together while keeping social distance. And D, to have dinner with friends. What do we think it was? Why do we think they were gathering on their balconies last week? And only Wendy's allowed to answer. You've all given your answers now. It's too late. Too late. You've got your answers in. They're all in there. I've already put them in as well because I can't do the math to quickly shift it around. So Wendy's the only person who's got 1 question left. Okay. So D's the other answer for Wendy. All right. So here we go. The correct answers to this question were... People were gathering on their balconies in Italy last week because they wanted to applaud health workers treating people with COVID-19, which was B, and to sing, dance, and play music together while keeping social distance, which was C. So if you answered B and C, you got this correct. If you got 1 wrong and 1 right, you stayed still. If you got none of them wrong, then you obviously got 2 points. And no one got 2 wrong, so that's fine. But yeah, no, they weren't going to have dinner with their friends. They weren't doing that, and they certainly weren't enjoying the first days of spring because they couldn't, because Italy is still in a bit of a bad way. Although, apparently, America is now the epicenter of this pandemic. America is in the worst state right now with regards to the pandemic. So, of course, thoughts go out to them. Hopefully, they are working on that and doing better, hopefully. Okay, so that's that. So now, interestingly, like the scores have moved around quite a bit. So Susie has 8 now. Grace is now in the lead with 9. Jack has 7. Veronica has 7. James has 2. Wendy has... Oh, no. So James has 8. Sorry, James. You're freaking out there. But James has 8. Wendy has 2. And Twigsy has 4. This is good stuff, people. What I might do for this one, because there's so many of you, is actually have first, second, and third place points for all of you. 3, 2, 1. So first place obviously has 3 points, then 2 points, then 1 point. Yeah, there was. So exactly. Yeah, I saw a video of people too. So where did I see that? I saw it somewhere. There's a guy who, I think I saw on BBC News, a guy who is doing kind of workout sessions in the street. People like join on their balconies and actually work out with him. Some of them were practicing social distancing, and I saw a family that definitely were not practicing social distancing. But then I think to myself, and I don't follow me on this one. Actually, it's only a question. If you already live with those people, do you still have to maintain social distancing? Because, I mean, technically, I guess if one of those people in the house, and this is what I'm thinking about, one of those people in the house still has to leave to work, then actually it's healthy to practice social distancing at home. It's better to do that, particularly when there's more of you in the house. But actually, I mean, if you're all isolated and none of you are going anywhere, then I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's obviously, I think it's better to practice social distancing even when you live with the people. But if you're going places, I saw another video where it's actually really heartbreaking. A medical worker, I don't know where, I think it was in Brazil, had come home to his family, and his little boy, tiny little boy, ran up to him to give him a hug, and the dad literally was like, no, and like backed off and put his hand down. The kid just stopped, and the doctor just broke down in tears because obviously he had spent all day, more than all day, you know, working really hard to keep people healthy in a very, very high risk environment. and then couldn't even come home to hug his little boy who wanted to give him a hug, which is really sucked. So it was really hard to watch, actually. So I imagine, yeah, people still need to practice social distancing, particularly if they're going outside. Definitely. So yeah, there we go. Okay, let's go on to round 7. Boop. Round 7. Okay, this is good. I think we'll keep doing this. This is good. Right, here we are. Name the celebrity couple who was in quarantine last week in Australia due to the coronavirus. Excuse me. Sorry, I told you it was going to come back. I told you I was going to burp, and I still said excuse me because I always do, because I've got manners. I mean, it's better manners not to burp at all, but I can't help that, guys. It's giving me the hurt. All right, so name the celebrity couple who was in quarantine last week in Australia due to the coronavirus. A, Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick. B, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. C, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. And D, Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. So name the celebrity couple who was in quarantine last week in Australia due to the coronavirus. A, Sarah Jessica Parker. Oh, God. I need to slow down. A, Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick. B, Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. C, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. And D, Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. What have we got? So very quickly, while you answer that, Twigsy, where back when my brother was still going to work, we did social distancing, but he's not at work now, so we're good because nobody's leaving the house. Excellent. No, good, excellent. That's good. Okay. Oh, Susie, come on. I love it. Okay, don't worry, Wendy, you're not behind. Always wait for everyone to answer. So, okay, Grace got D. Susie, no, James got A. Susie, I'm going to allow that one because everyone hadn't answered yet. But that's the last time, Susie. The last time you're allowed to pass. After this, first answers only. Remember, I don't want to be mean here. Last time, people. First answers only. If you get it wrong the first time, no switchy changes. All right? No switcheroos on this. We're not having it. We don't allow it on Countdown. It's not allowed here. That's for sure. But the fist of tyranny is down. The fist of tyranny, fist of rules, laws. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, where did I get to? So, Susie. Right, Susie said D. Okay, good. Jack said D. Okay. Veronica said D. And Twiggy said D. Wendy said D. All right, good. So, the correct answer was indeed D. It was Rita Wilson and Tom Hanks. They were indeed ill last week in Australia and were isolated. So, everyone gets a point except for James. James, you've lost the lead. I'm sorry. I apologize. I mean, I can't apologize. It's not my fault, but still, I'm sorry. That sucked. That's a shame. That's a shame. So, yeah, everyone wins a point. So, Grace, you're still in the lead with 10 points, double digits. Well played. And we've got joint third between Veronica and James right now. Jack has 7 points. Twigsy has 5 and Wendy has 3. Let's keep it going. This is still, I think what I'll do is on the last round, I'm going to twist it. I'm going to twist it up. All right. And actually, I've realized the last question is open-ended. So that's ridiculous. I mean, that's not, no. So on the last question, I'm going to change it so that you lose. I'm going to say if you get it wrong, you lose 2 points. If you get it right, you get 3. That's on the last question. Okay. So if you get the answer wrong, you lose 2 points. If you get it right, you get 3. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm going to say. Okay. So next question, round 7. Here we go. Last week, it was announced that Canadian scientists found this thing, while studying diamond samples from Baffin Island. What a name, Baffin Island. Fantastic. Okay, so last week, it was announced that Canadian scientists found this thing while studying diamond samples from Baffin Island. Was this thing A, a fragment of an ancient continent? B, a flawless 38-carat red diamond? C, mummified prehistoric birds? Or C, Santa Claus's birthplace? Now, if you were far enough ahead in points, I feel like you could have a real good time with this one. But again, last week it was announced that Canadian scientists found this thing while studying diamond samples from Baffin Island. Was it A, a fragment of an ancient continent, B, a flawless 38-carat red diamond, C, mummified prehistoric birds, or D, Santa Claus's birthplace? What do we think it was? Put your answers down below. A, B, C, or D. What do we think it was? Okay, thank you, Grace. Grace has given an answer. Fantastic. Good. Veronica says B. Okay, good. Jack says C. Good. James says C. Wonderful. Oh, hello. Oh, no. Ah! James says, oh, I was took too many points off you there, James. Wendy says A. Susie says D. What does Twigsy say? Twigsy says B. Okay. Everyone answered? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Okay, good. We're all here. So the correct answer was indeed... it was A. They actually found a fragment of an ancient continent over there in Baffin Island. Mental. An ancient continent. I know which one continent that was. The ancient continent. Maybe it was... I don't know. I can't make something up. So wonderful. Well done, everyone. Okay. So now, this is interesting. So Veronica and James still joint third. Grace is in the lead with 11. Susie with 8. Jack has 6. And Wendy and Twigsy are there with 4 points. So next question. Here we go. Atlantis. Thank you, Jack. Yes, it was Atlantis. Yeah, because actually before the sea level started to rise, they actually went down quite a lot. And in fact, I think that's true. I think the sea levels did go down quite a bit. And it exposed Atlantis. The conspiracy theorists are going wild. Incredible. Okay, next question. Right. True or false? True or false? Now, this is the penultimate question. After this, there's one last question. And then we go into the final question. Okay. True or false? Now, this time I'm just going to ask the letter. Okay. Just the letter. A or B. A is true. B is false. A or B? True or false? A or B? Baffin Island is the largest island in Canada and the 5th largest island in the world. True or false? A is true, B is false. What do we think? What are we thinking here? What are we thinking? Okay, Grace says B. I don't actually know the rest of that song. Veronica's answered, thank you. Jack has answered, thank you. Susie, James has answered, thank you. Oh wait, oh god, hang on, that's not James. James has answered. There we go. Susie has answered, thank you. Joke theory, Atlantis is just a really big coral reef. I mean, that's true, yeah. It could be, Atlantis could actually be a really magnificent place for fish. Wendy says B. Thank you. Twigsy says B. Thank you. Is that everyone? We have got the answers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Right. Oh, my goodness me. Okay. I feel like Veronica and James are deliberately answering the same thing so that they had an agreement with each other. Let's just answer the same every single time so that we can just keep that position with each other. Let's just stay in line, really mess things up. I think that's what you're doing. Okay, then. So the answer is absolutely... Baffin Island is the largest island in Canada, and it is the 5th largest island in the world. And that is true. So if you answered A, you get a point. If not, unfortunately, you lost one. So Grace still in the lead with double digits, 10. Then Veronica and James are joint second with 8 points. Susie is third with 7. Then Jack with 5. Wendy and Twigsy have 3. All righty. Now, the last question. The last question. Oh. I can't ask you this question. because because it's a picture round. No, okay, so here we go. Okay, here we go. What we'll do here is okay, here we go. We'll do it this way instead. I'm not going to ask you that question because it's a picture round. I can't do that. So there's 2 questions left, and both of these questions, like one's a slide, so I can make this a question. And what I'll do is we'll have a little fun with this. I want to know, and this is how this is going to work. The quicker you answer this question, the more points you get. And it's a point for every question you get right, or every answer you give that's right. And we'll go for 1 minute. I'm going to put 1 minute on the clock, right? So actually, what I'll do is I'll divide the points by, what can I do? How can I do this? I'll figure it out. But basically, actually, yeah, fuck it. Screw it. Oh, God, I got a little something in my throat there. Screw it. What I'll do is I'm setting time for a minute. The quicker you answer it, you get the number of points, the nearest 10. So, for example, if I press it now and you answer within the next 10 seconds, you get 5 points. Okay? Now, let's reset that. We'll go back to a minute. Also, there's 3 answers I'm looking for, and you will get a point for every answer that you get correct. However, you're going to have to guess the answer, and the closest to the answer will actually get the points. Okay? The closest to the answer, you'll get the points. So, here we go. Round 9. And honestly, this is going to be some serious guesswork, but I love it. So again, round 9. And what I'm looking for are 3 measurements. I'm looking for, not measurements, I'm looking for 3 things. Date, distance in miles, and hours and minutes, right? So that's date. So we're looking for a day and a month, distance in miles, and then a time in hour and minutes. All right? Now, I know this is going to sound really mental, but when you know the question, then I want to know. All right? So here we go. You only get 1 guess, right? The sooner you guess, and you get 3 answers. So what I want to see is those 3 things, right? You get 3 answers, and this might take some time to calculate because I feel like you guys might end up guessing them really quickly. And the one closest, you're not going to lose any points for getting it wrong. The one closest to it gets those 3 points. All right? Or gets 1 point for the closer they get. All right? All understand? Does that make sense? This feels very convoluted. Does that make sense? Any questions before we do this? Because what I don't want is for you guys to get confused or for me to get it wrong afterwards. No one's going to lose any points here. Everyone understand? I mean, you have to tell me you understand because I won't know otherwise. I won't know. You'll have to say that you understand. You'll have to say yes. So let me know. Jack, you got it? Yeah, Jack assumes so. Okay, good. Twigsy, you understand? Susie James, we're good. Wendy, good. Veronica, we're all good. We all know? Yeah. Yeah. Wendy? 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 Where's Wendy? Where's she gone? Wendy! I'm guessing Wendy gets it. Right, here we go then. I think Wendy's maybe fallen. I think maybe I'm buffering for, which is a shame because she might miss out. Okay, so here we go. I'm looking for date, day and month, distance in miles, and the time in hours and minutes. And the sooner you get the answer, the more points you get. So here we go. Ready? So I'm going to have to watch as they come in and see where the time is at. Okay, so the question is, how long, was the longest non-stop commercial flight ever? So how long was the longest non-stop commercial flight ever? And we're looking for the date, month and day, the distance in miles, and the time in hours and minutes. Go. I probably should have put a delay in there because obviously I know there's a 20-second delay between this. So I might add 1. I'll add 1 to that, actually. to give you. Oh no, 2 because it's 20 seconds. It's 20 seconds. I'll add 2 to the top. So now we're looking for 4 points. It's okay, Wendy. That's all right. 4 points available. 4 points available. 3 points available. I feel like some of you are Googling this. Some of you have jumped on the internet there. And I'll know you Googled this, by the way. I'll know. So don't play funny with me. I'll know if you Googled it. I will know. All right, the bonus points are gone. Wait, no, 2. No, the bonus points are gone. That's fine. That is okay. So no bonus points. Okay. So Grace has guessed the 6th of March. Hang on a minute. How many miles? 400,000 miles. 20 hours. Thank you, Grace. Wendy guessed 24 hours. Okay. Jack said 17 hours. 28 hours, 20 hours. Okay. Okay. 30 hours, 38 minutes. 15th of October, 2017. 1,000 miles or more. Susie guessed 100 hours. Okay. Now then, hang on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to very quickly go like this so I can keep track of who's answered what. So, yep. Okay. Yep. So far, right, Jack, what I need is the guest date and the distance. Wendy, I need a guest date and a distance. Veronica, I need a guest date and a distance. Susie, I need a guest date and a distance. James, I need a guest date and a distance because these are all the times. You've all given the amount of time they're in the air, and I've already allocated the points so far for that. So, okay. Veronica, thank you very much. Okay. What do we reckon? What do we reckon? 14th of October 2017. I just need the day and the month. Thank you for giving the years, the day and the month, because actually I don't even know the year. To be honest, I don't know the year at all. Thinking music. Oh, I finished my water. I hope you finished yours, your glass of water that you definitely brought to this. Tiny Brain said 30 hours, but 1,000 miles away. I mean, you know, that's going to be that. That's going to be that. March 31st, 2,000 miles. Okay. And right. Okay. Hang on. All right. Good. And James said 9,000 miles. Okay. So hang on a minute. I'm changing this as it goes. So I'm trying to keep tabs of everything as we go. Jack Roll says 1,000 miles. March 31st. Okay. Is that everyone? Everyone's done their bit. Okay. Right. So here we go. This is how it plays off. We've got the final scores here. The longest non-commercial, non-stop flight ever took place, I don't have the year, but between March 15th and March 16th. It might have been this year, you know. It might have been this year. Covering 9,765 miles. And it was in 15 hours and 45 minutes. So the winner of the date point goes to Grace for the 6th of March, which is the closest to the date. 400,000 miles, though, for a distance to travel, Grace, is around the world multiple times. Hang on, I just... hang on. Distance around the world, equator. Let's just have a look at that. So, Grace, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I'm just going to put things into perspective for you on this one. Okay. So if anything had traveled for 400,000 miles, if any plane had traveled for 400,000 miles, it would have gone around the Earth approximately 8 times. Just so you know. Just so you know. It would have gone around the Earth 8 times. So you tapped 0 too many times. You might have done. I had a feeling you were going for 40,000. Still, it's a very long distance, But, you know, I'll just actually let you know now, actually, so that we're all learning here. The equator, the circumference of the Earth is 24,901 miles. 24,901 miles. All right. So, yes. So that's the actual time space around it. That's great. I did love that though. I love that answer. I think it's great. But yeah, 24,000 miles around the Earth one time. So also when people are saying, you know, they traveled for 1,000 miles as well, that's a very short distance, especially, yes, Twigsy, for 30 hours to go 1,000 miles. We also got to think about the speed at which the planes travel. In fact, hang on, let's have a Google of the average speed of a plane. Yeah, look at that. I swear Google's listening to me. I already know. The average speed of a plane is 575 miles an hour. So again, we can put that into perspective and we can say, like, you know, basically we're looking at for every, well, you know, yeah, you get it. So that's around that. That's around that. But that's the average. That's the average. I meant to put another 0. What did Wendy put? 2,000 miles. But that would have made it 20,000 miles. So again, that would have been a very long distance, especially for where you didn't put the time, did you, Wendy? 24 hours. Oh, no, that still would have been, yeah. And then, yeah, 15 hours, 45 minutes. So yes, the distance, the date was 6th of March. That was the closest one. The distance 9,000, and that went to James. That point went there. And then finally, the time went to, who was it? Where did they get the time closest? Like someone said in 17 hours. Jack gets the point for the time. So well done, those 3. Congratulations. And so here are the winners of this round. Grace gets 11 points as the winner of today's round. James gets 9 points with 2nd place. 3rd place goes to Veronica with 8 points. Well done, Veronica. Good stuff. Then it goes after that, Susie with 7, then Jack with 6. So unfortunate, Jack, because you were doing very, very well. Very, very well for that time. And then it goes Twigsy with 3 and Wendy with 3. There we go. There you all are. So I'll put these in. So now we've got new people on our leaderboard. So James gets a point. James gets 2 points for this now. Veronica gets an extra point, so they're also on 2. Grace gets 3 points on our leaderboard. So that actually puts Grace right up on top. Well, yeah, well done, everyone. Round of applause. Good stuff. Excellent. Excellent. So that was good. I think we'll do that again because I think that makes things a lot easier. It's a slower pace, but that makes things a lot easier. And I think for those of us who, again, will have learning difficulties and stuff like that, this makes this so much more accessible. So that's what we're going to do from now on. Thank you, everyone, for being part of this live. Again, we've gone way over, but hey, it's been fun. It's been fun. Reminder, if you have artwork you would like to show, if you have stories you would like to tell, if you have a letter you would like to write, please send them over to DansDenYT@gmail.com. I read them out on the live here, and I'll show them to you on the live here as I did. Thank you for sending in the sourdough bread, Susie, and of course the origami, Grace. Appreciate it. Also, if you're looking to produce some of your own artwork or you would like something to be displayed, then of course you can send it over to me and I make it the channel art for the week. Right now we've got Twigsy's work up there. So thank you, Twigsy, for giving that over and letting us show it to all of you. Thank you very much. It's wonderful stuff. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you all tomorrow. And yeah, be good to each other. Be good to one another. Take care, everyone. See you later.